After having repaired the roofs, it was time to install new windows and to do the plasterwork on the outside. For a very short moment I had thought about making all the windows myself, but as there were 51 of them, I decided to buy them. Even though I could have installed them myself, but professional workers are much faster with that. The windows had to be old-style wooden ones because the houses are heritage sites. We choose dark red for the frame and white for the sashes. These windows do not have all the features of modern European windows. I even ordered them without a tilting mechanism, which I think is unnecessary and invites misuse in winter. But while the windows were installed, I couldn't withstand and tried to build two simple windows. These profiles were all made from the many cut-offs of the tile battens from making the roofs. I had to apply some basic methods of joinery where the vertical and the horizontal mountains intersect. I didn't film all the details here because I didn't want to disappoint or upset anyone who knows how to make windows properly. It was a bit of an experiment for me. And I got sidetracked by making this set of cubes with numbers which can be stacked or set side by side. The challenge is to always have the same numbers on adjoining faces. A nice game. Okay, but now let's put the cubes in their cube-shaped box and concentrate on windows again. After all, the windows came out better than expected, and hopefully I can use them in my workshop doors. The next step after the windows is to make all the window sills. I used tin sheet metal, which isn't too expensive and is reasonably well looking. I needed some special thinness tools for that, for example this pliers for folding the sheet metal. I didn't want to buy one, so I set up an improvised forge and made one. I began with one of my many old and rusty pliers. The jaws that were bent inwards had to be straightened. Then I welded metal plates onto them. Done. The sheet metal was already folded into the right profiles. About 10 individual profiles were necessary. I had to check carefully that I used the right ones on every window. My job was now to cut the profiles to length and to fold up the sides or ends. This wasn't possible to do before the installation of the windows, because many windows required individual adjustments here. Where the opening was to be plastered, I had to make C-shaped end profiles, and I needed this tool for the task. It's so easy to make an improvised one that I didn't think of buying one. To make the corners watertight, I just soldered the sheet metal together. A neighbor gave me the hint that we all would sleep better if I glued some bitumen sheets underneath the windowsills. They muffle the sound of raindrops. Now let's have a look at the installation. Meanwhile, the plasterers came and I had to hurry a bit and to make some forgotten covers from scraps. I was working in a tight schedule here, always being followed by the plasterers. They also installed an insulation, but not too thick, because I didn't want the windows to look like tunnels. In the end, they managed to get everything done before the snow came, and the houses look nice again for the first time after decades.